In today's video, I'll be sharing 21 things you need to know before going to Morocco. Hi there and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If this is your first time, my name is Grace and this is my travel diary. So basically I post all things travel, my different travel experiences, my recommendations, just my experience basically on travel. So please subscribe, please like and please comment, and yeah, share with your friends as well. In today's video, I'll be sharing 21 things you need to know before going to Morocco. Before we get into the video, if you see me looking down, I'm looking at my list on my iPad, so please bear with me. Number one, you need to know that their currency is dirhams, and if you are traveling from the UK, £1 is about 13 dirhams as at last time I checked, so bear that in mind. 2, learn to speak basic French or Arabic because that's their primary language in Morocco. In some locations you can get away with speaking English and they would understand, but mostly they speak French and Arabic. So in terms of communicating with your cab driver, in terms of buying something at the shop, you need to know basic merci, which is thank you, what else, bonjour, good morning, yeah, basic French, I think assalamu alaikum, just saying hello, and yeah, basically we had to learn the hard way because I think if you watched one of my previous videos, we're trying to book a cab and every cab man we stopped, they were like, oh, they didn't understand what we're trying to say, or when we show them like the location of where we're going to on our phones, maybe they can't read it in English. Which brings me to my next point: use Google Translate for French. So that's the fastest way to translate. So if you don't understand English, or not English, if you don't understand much French or Arabic, you can always use Google Translate. 4, at the airport, we were asked for printed versions of our visa because I think it was easier for them. So because I own a Nigerian passport, I have to apply for a visa to go to Morocco. So at the airport we were asked for the printed version, but we didn't have it, so we just showed them the digital version on our phones, which they used. But if you have the time or if you have the printer, print the visa just for easy check-in at the airport. Number 5, if you are flying Royal Air Maroc, food is served on board. So this might not be much of things to know, but it was one thing that we didn't know when we were flying Royal Air Maroc, which is the official airline for Morocco. We didn't know that they served food on board, so we kind of had a big lunch at the airport before going to our boarding gates to board the flight. So yeah, need to note that. Number 6, at the border control in Casablanca, we were asked for printouts of our accommodation details and the address, which we didn't have. So I had to go through my phone to present the payment receipt and confirmation of payment that showed the address of the Airbnb where we were staying. So yeah, we didn't expect that they were going to ask us for that, and we didn't print it, or even I didn't even bookmark it or star it on my Gmail. So yeah, that was quite a hassle, but yeah, that's one thing to note. So print your accommodation details as well, just in case you're asked. You can just present it at the border control. Number 7, at the airport, if you can, buy a SIM at the airport for data for calls within Morocco, and yeah, if you need to use the internet, and you know, if you'd like to use the internet on your trip, during your trip, buy a SIM at the airport. We didn't do that. So we had to get a SIM when we got to Morocco Mall. So we got a SIM at the Morocco Mall. So before then, we didn't have access to Google Maps or anything until we got to Morocco Mall, and then we got a SIM and were able to use internet and data and phone calls as well. So that's one thing to note. If you'd like to use mobile data and, you know, make calls, do get a SIM at the airport. Number 8, change some cash at the airport. Make sure, even if it's not at the airport in Casablanca, if it's at the airport from wherever you're flying from, make sure you have cash dirhams on you, because most of the shops, all the cabs take cash, so you need to have cash on you. If you need to buy things from the shop, if you need to pay for stuff, some of the shops take card, but very rarely. So you need to use some of the attractions as well. You need to pay cash. If I can remember correctly, at the Bahia Palace, we had to pay cash, but some of the tours we booked on Get Your Guide, we were able to use card. So the card that I use is this TransferWise card, which I pretty much did everything online, registered online, and then the card was sent to my address. So you can convert pounds to any currency, you know, that's used in the destination you're traveling to. So you can convert it directly in the app, and then you can use the card to pay wherever you are. So please bear that in mind. Number 9, make sure you book a cab online before arrival. There were local guides or local cab rides at the airport, but some of them, if you don't know how much, you know, the cab ride should cost, you could get ripped off. So we booked ours online on Get Your Guide. So we booked a taxi ride from Casablanca Airport to our Airbnb. Number 10, make sure you read reviews properly before booking an accommodation. So we had to cancel our initial booking, our initial Airbnb booking, just a few days before we traveled, because we found out that it was quite a distance from the attractions, from town basically. So if you wanted to go from that accommodation to different attractions within Casablanca, you would have had to spend 30-40 minutes from the accommodation into town. And we didn't, I'll take the blame for that. I didn't read the reviews properly before booking it, and by the time I plotted it, I found out it was quite a distance. So I made sure before booking any other accommodation, I made sure to read the reviews properly. Also, the reviews would contain, you know, reviews of the host, how the location is, cleanliness, you know, different, if there's a tram or if there's a train, a bus stop close to the area, you know, different recommendations. So yeah, make sure to read accommodation reviews before booking. Number 11, make sure you take a converter socket when traveling to Morocco. So in the UK, we use these 1, 2, 3 port sockets adapter, and in Morocco this is what they use. So this is like an adapter plug which converts UK 3 to Morocco. So you put this in the sockets for Morocco and then attach your extension or your charger or anything to this port. So remember to buy these. I got these off Amazon. I can't remember how much, but yeah, if you just Google Morocco converter sockets, the picture would pop up and then you can buy it online. So remember that. Number 12, cats are everywhere in Morocco. Not just cats, stray cats. I'm not scared of cats, and I don't hate cats, but I was kind of scared of, the stray cats because they were looking scary to me. If you're allergic, note that before going to Morocco. And because of how good the weather is in Morocco, it's sunny, it's warm, you have the opportunity to have your lunch outside, or at the restaurant they have some tents outside where you can eat. If you do that, just note that there's a possibility that there are some cats waiting around by your table. Yeah, it made me quite uncomfortable, but yeah, that's something to note before going to Morocco. Number 13 to note, Friday is the holy day. So because Morocco is predominantly Muslim, Friday is the holy day where they pray, they go to the mosque. So make sure to note that, because most shops close on Friday, or they don't open until maybe after 2 p.m. or 2:30 p.m. So our first full day in Morocco was a Friday, and we didn't get to do anything until after 2 p.m. One of the attractions we wanted to go to was closed until 2:30. I think that was the Notre Dame Louvre in Casablanca. So we basically couldn't do much, even though we came out of the Airbnb a bit late in the morning or afternoon. I think it was about after 12 p.m. we got out of the Airbnb to start the day. But if we had come out much earlier, we probably wouldn't have been able to do anything, because it was a Friday and most things were shut. So make sure you note that if you're traveling on a Friday, or you'll be in Morocco on a Friday, make sure to note that Friday is their holy day. Number 14, have a taxi company number that you can call if you need to go anywhere. We learned this the hard way. It wasn't a Friday, but on one of the days we were there, I think it was on a Saturday, we were trying to get a cab to a Chinese restaurant. We were at the bus stop for over an hour. I'm not even exaggerating. I don't know why, probably because we came out at the time where they were going to pray, or I don't understand what the issue was, but we weren't able to get a cab for an hour until I called our Airbnb host and just to say, oh, we've been trying to get a cab, does she know how we can get a cab? And then she gave us the phone number of a taxi company. It's called Taxi Vets. They run a 24-hour service, so we're able to call them, and they speak English, which is one other thing, because when we speak to the cab drivers in English, sometimes they can't understand and then they just drive off. So once we had their number, anywhere we needed to go to, we would call them. We had to go to a Marrakesh train station very early in the morning, I think around 5-6 a.m. We called them and they were there at the Airbnb to pick us up. So yeah, make sure you have a taxi phone number for when you're in Morocco. Number 15, make sure to look for a landmark close to your accommodation. So this is mostly applicable if you are booking an Airbnb, because it's not like a hotel where you have the name of the hotel and you can use that as a landmark that I'm going to Ibis Hotel Morocco. But in our case, it was just a house. So the Airbnb host gave us the name of a secondary school, which was just at the end of the street where we lodged, as a landmark to give any tour company, any cab, just to say we're going to, I can't remember the name of the secondary school, it was a secondary school. So that was really helpful. So the tour company or the cab would just wait for us at the secondary school, and we'll just walk down from our accommodation to the end of the street to join them. So that's one thing to note. If you are booking an Airbnb, make sure you look for a landmark close to your accommodation. Number 16, haggle. If you don't know how to haggle, learn how to haggle, because you don't want to be ripped off. You don't want to spend more than you should. You don't want to spend unnecessarily, so haggle. If the cab man is telling you the cab is 130 or 150 dirhams, start from 50 dirhams. Like, I'm not the best haggler, if there's anything like that, but you need to learn how to haggle, so you guys can kind of meet in the middle ground. So yeah, learn to haggle before going to Morocco, or prepare to haggle. Number 17, dress appropriately. Because it's a predominantly Muslim country, it's advisable for you to be properly covered, not necessarily cover your hair, cover top to bottom, but just try to dress a bit appropriate. On the beach, yeah, you can wear your beach wear, because obviously it's a beach location, but just try to dress appropriately. Even though I don't think anyone would come to you to arrest you for not dressing appropriately, but just as a respect to the culture of the country you're traveling to, it's advisable to kind of dress a bit appropriately. That's all I'm going to say. 18, if you are visiting mosques as a non-Muslim, you are not going to be allowed entry. The only mosque that would allow entry to non-Muslims is the Hassan II Mosque in Casablanca, which we didn't even get to go into because by the time we got there we were too tired. We just took pictures from outside the mosque. But you are allowed to take pictures outside, you're allowed to sit outside and experience the sights and scenes, but you're not allowed to go in as a non-Muslim except the Hassan II Mosque. I didn't even know this before going to Morocco. I only just found out after, but make sure to note that before going to Morocco. Number 19, ask before taking photos, as you may have to pay. So if you go to the markets or if you see some charmers or entertainers or something, make sure to ask them before, even if they're offering you to come and take photos, ask if do you need to pay, because before you take the photo they might not tell you that you need to pay until after you've taken the photo, but obviously you can delete the photo. But yeah, just make sure to note that if you're at the markets and someone's asking you to come and take a picture in front of their fruits or in front of their spices or all those things, you might need to pay. So make sure you note that. Number 20, we're almost done. My throat is dry. Number 20, watch your bags and watch your pockets. As with any destination you travel to, you need to make sure you guard your properties, you guard your valuables. Your phone, hold it tightly. If it's as expensive as mine, guard it with your everything. Make sure to, if you have backpacks, make sure you lock them short. If you have purses, make sure you keep them out of sight. So yeah, just be careful especially when you're walking around in the market. Beware of pickpockets. We didn't experience anything like that, thank God, but just make sure you watch out for that. Number 21, and the last on the list, beware of local guides or strangers. So yeah, this is applicable to any other destination you go to. So there may be some guides offering you free tours, or just coming to speak to you, to sell things to you. Just beware. If it's not anywhere in the open or in the market or something, don't follow anyone anywhere that you don't know. do not follow strangers. Do as your mom or your dad taught to you. Don't talk to strangers. So yeah, beware of local guides, beware of strangers, especially if you're traveling as a woman. Thankfully we traveled as a group, so we stuck together. But if you're traveling solo, beware of strangers, beware of local guides. And yeah, that's everything on my list. I hope so far you've learned one or two things, and if there's anything I missed out, if you've been to Morocco before, if there's anything I missed out, please feel free to add those in the comment section below. And if you have any questions or you need any further tips, please just ask any questions you have in the comment section below, and I'll respond to them. Thank you for watching. If you have watched this far and you haven't subscribed, why? Please subscribe to my channel. Please like, please subscribe, please share, please comment, and hopefully I'll see you in my next one. Bye.